everyone, a very warm welcome to this special. Today we are going to be playing fantasy cricket right here on our News 9 Digital's social media channels. This is something that we've been wanting to do for a while. We've been wanting to give you an idea as to what are the players to pick in your fantasy 11. So Abhishek Paul's here with me to take you through that. But first, we'll also discuss the two teams playing today, Lucknow Super Giants versus Chennai Super Kings, the defending champions. We look back on their performances. We'll also look ahead to what one can expect from the big game that is coming up today. Ravindra Jadeja versus KL Rahul. That's right, two captains with one with CSK, one with Lucknow Super Giants. But how do these two teams stack up? Remember, both these teams have lost their opening games. How much of an impact will that make? Yes, this is, the earliest stage of the tournament. But in terms of getting the squad together, have they got the best playing 11 on the field? We'll also talk about KL Rahul's captaincy and whether that could have been different in the last game. So, Abhishek, both teams losing the first game. Now, from here on, I don't think they'll take that too seriously because, at the end of the day, it's just one game. But one thing that stands out between the two games that they played against their oppositions is that KL Rahul was actually happy with the way his team began. And rightfully so, given that they'd lost their top order, middle order anyway was weak, then to get to a competitive enough total, courtesy Deepak Hooda and Ayush Badoni. So I think in that sense, he's right when he says, I couldn't have got to a better start in the tournament.
I mean, the good thing is that one of the two teams will score their maiden points in this IPL 2022, and there was quite a few similarities between the two teams in the first matches. Both their top orders failed. Both their top orders have their main batsmen, while CSK has the likes of Ruth Raj Gayakwar, Lucknow Super Giants has the likes of KL Rahul, and both of them failed. And their performance will be, will be under the scanner today. Whether they can perform or not. I think, and as you rightly mentioned, KL Rahul was happy with the positives that he got, which is the performance of the likes of Deepak Hooda and Ayush Badoni, two unheralded stars. I think the top order of both the teams will decide today's match.
That's right. Both of them will have, the batting is good. They both have, the top order looks good. But let's also take a look at the likely playing 11 for the two teams before we go any further. And we will get to the fantasy team as well. Both of us have decided on what Abhishek believes is a safe team, but I'd rather go with a safe team straight up. So let's take a look at the likely 11. Also, please, if you have any comments, suggestions on Facebook as well as on YouTube, we'll be taking those. So do write into us and we'll take those comments. But let's take a look at the likely playing 11. We'll begin with Lucknow Super Giants. And KL Rahul, the captain there, Quinton de Kock. And when you have the opening with KL Rahul and Quinton de Kock, I mean, opposition will be scared because we know what they can do. We know what they've done in the past and the pedigree that these two players have. Then you have the hard-hitting Evan Lewis. Manish Pandey is there. We saw what Deepak Hooda and Ayush Badoni did, and that's why it is so important for teams to do well straight up, because the unheralded players, in a sense, when they do well, that's wonderful to watch. There is Kunal Pandey, there is Mohsin Khan. There might be a difference there between, they might want to change Mohsin Khan if Andrew Tai is there. There is Ravi Bishnui and Avesh Khan. Let's also take a look at Chennai Super Kings, and if we can just take a look at Chennai Super Kings. There, you take a look at that. Ravindra Jadeja, the captain, we'll try to get that team again. But
it's unlikely that barring that Mohsin Khan part, I don't think any other players are going to get changed. It was the first match. All the teams were fidgety. Mind you, it was a very close match between Lucknow Super Giants and Gujarat Titans, which Lucknow Super Giants lost. But they played with three foreigners, and there is an option that maybe Mohsin Khan, who gave away 18 runs in 2 overs. He's a pacer, domestic pacer. Maybe they can bring in a foreign player. Andrew Ty is the likely replacement. He is also medium pacer. He can bat in the middle order, sort of a utility player. So that's one of the only changes as I see. Their top order is intimidating. Starting with KL Rahul and Quinton de Kock, great right-left combination. KL Rahul, last I think 4 to 5 seasons, each season he has scored at least over 520 runs. Quinton de Kock, again new team, but was a consistent performer for Mumbai Indians. His performance will be, is expected to be good. Evan Lewis, another power pack performance. The top three is really solid,
and the other thing for all our viewers, that for Quinton de Kock, his highest individual score against Chennai Super Kings only 53 in 12 innings. But he's often managed to get the starts once from him against Chennai Super Kings. So whether it be 17 of 12, 38 of 28, 46 of 37, so 33 of 20.
Maybe he can be the anchor, while the likes of KL Rahul and Evan Lewis just ups the strike rate. Of course, Manish Pandey, he is also a solid option at number 4. And then comes the unheralded stars, Deepak Hooda and Ayush Baduni. They can hit really big. Kunal Pandey can also hit big, and he was their most economical bowler in the last match. He gave only 17 runs. Dushmantha Chamira, surprisingly, he took quick wickets at the beginning, but he was not given his full quota of overs. So that's one thing that LSG might look to change. Ravi Vishnu, again another young star, full of courage, full of all the guile, does his googlies really well. So that's also another player, who I think in the fantasy 11 one can definitely keep.
That's right. And Ravi Bishnui actually bowled really well in the last game, and he also has done well in the past, against Chennai Super Kings when he played for Punjab Kings. But we'll also go through the likely 11 for
Chennai.
For Chennai, Ruth Raj Gayakwar, Devon Conway, straight up. And I think they'd be disappointed because, they would have expected. At the end of the day, Ruth Raj Gayakwar was an orange cap holder. And so he scored a lot of runs. And Devon Conway as well. But then Robin Uthappa. Why do I feel like this is going to be another good season for Robin Uthappa? And it should be. If CSK want to do well in this season, Robin Uthappa also needs to do what he did in the last season. We saw what he did, not just coming into the later stages of the tournament, then in the knockouts, playing crucial knocks. Moeen Ali coming back is such a big help for them, isn't that so?
Moeen Ali coming back is, I think, the best thing to have happened for CSK in their second match. He was their consistent performer at number 3-4 last season, also with his off spin. If I remember correctly, his economy was in the 6.5 region, which is really brilliant in T20 cricket, and his inclusion will be really great. His entry will be really great. Robin Uthappa, the cameos that he can play, even in the first match he scored, I think, 28 of 21 balls. He hit 2 sixes and 2 fours. He needs to play long, but if he can play one of those cameos, where he scores about 40 odd runs in 20 odd balls, I think he would have done his job. Frankly.
But you still see Chennai Super Kings, and you wonder whether they really have gone a bit too far with Daddy's Army. I know that Mahendra Singh Dhoni scored a 50 when nothing else worked for them. He came in and he showed his vintage self, and some of those boundaries, it was wonderful to watch. But having said that, they still got to 130 odd. And that's where the problem is, that if their top order does not perform, then the batting just gets weaker and weaker straight away.
True. When MS Dhoni performed, obviously, for the Chennai fans, it was quite a movement. I think they were also surprised by his performance. Last 2-3 seasons, he did not perform at all, and suddenly he hit the first 6 of the tournament, first 6 of IPL 2022. But somehow, I look at Lucknow top order and it seems quite intimidating. I don't get the same feeling looking at CSK batting lineup somehow. Though the likes of Ruth Raj is there, Devon Conway, they're all attacking batters. Robin Uthappa, he is a batter with great pedigree. Mohan Ali, but still somehow the scales are, I think, tilted towards Lucknow Super Giants.
That's right. The scales are tilted towards Lucknow Super Giants. They do look like a better team on paper. But if you look at Chennai Super Kings, we've always seen they've punched above their weight. They may look like a weak team on paper, but we've seen them rise through the ashes. Who would have given them a chance after what they did in 2020 and 2021? But they came right to the end to win the title. So yes, you can never write them off. But on paper, this team does have a few gaps that they need to plug. Now, we'll be taking you through our Fantasy 11 as well. So if you have any questions about who are the players that you need to choose, that you need to put in your playing 11, do let us know what those questions are. We'll take you through what we think is a good team. We'll also give you options of if you want to go in for a high risk 11 or if you want to go in for a safe 11 that I'm going in for today. I've already made my team, and I don't know if you'd be able to see it, but I've made my Dream 11 team. So I don't know, there you have it, but
you can just
we'll go one by one.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, we'll show it to you. But yes, so if you have any questions on what you want to do, what are the players you want in your team, or any questions, let us know. But just coming back to both these teams, there is also this thing of Dwayne Bravo, and why some of the matches where I've seen so far is that you have Mahendra Singh Dhoni doing well, Dwayne Bravo getting the wickets, and you feel like Ajinkya Rahane proving a point.
Even Dinesh Karthik also, all these veterans, This has been the first round of matches. After the first round of matches, it has been an edition, when unexpected and the unheralded players, they were the support cast, they became the protagonists, at least first 6 matches. You have MS Dhoni top scoring for Chennai Super Kings. You have a Dwayne Bravo picking the most number of wickets for them in their first match. You have a Dinesh Karthik who is finishing who has been the best finisher in the 2 matches for RCB. And then of course Deepak Hooda and Ayush Baduni, 2 unheralded stars for Lucknow Super Giants. So it's really great for the healthy for the tournament that these players come up, and everybody expects the likes of KL Rahul, the likes of Quinton de Kock to fire, and suddenly you have Deepak Hooda top scoring for that team, which is really great. Even for Mumbai Indians, if you see in the lineup of Jasprit Bumrah, you have Basil Thampi who is getting 3 wickets, and Jasprit Bumrah who's getting hit for 30 odd runs. So it's a strange start, but looks quite interesting.
Okay, then let's take you through our Fantasy 11. Now, the captain for us is who else but KL Rahul? Why not? I mean, KL Rahul, he may have failed in the last game, but we know what KL Rahul can do. KL Rahul has been phenomenal for Punjab Kings, and I feel like he's expected to bounce back. He's done it in the past. 50 plus score in 8 outings against Chennai Super Kings when he was playing for Punjab Kings. So I would think that KL Rahul likes to perform well against Chennai Super Kings. So he's the captain. In vice captain, we've gone with Deepak Hooda. And it's not just because of what he did in the last game. I think it's also how he has done so far. Recently made his debut, played well in domestic in Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. I just feel like he's in form. He's got this will to score runs, take wickets. So that's why Deepak Hooda is going to get us the money.
I mean, he is a domestic cricket veteran. He sort of plays the off-spinning all-rounders role. He can hit those big shots. He is little little on the older side. He's not a young player anymore, but still he has the hunger, and he can do really well, if given the opportunity. Last season also, last 2-3 seasons in fact, he played quite a few good knocks for Punjab Kings. This season, Lucknow Super Giants, he's using him at a great position, in the middle order. And he was the highlight of Lucknow Super Giants' first match against the Gujarat Titans.
That's right. And then let's go on, then if you could just keep that frame of the Fantasy 11, Quinton de Kock is in that side. And Quinton de Kock, again, again, a veteran. You know, his highest individual score, like I said, may not be much, but he's performed against CSK consistently. So Quinton de Kock is in that side. Would you agree with me? If you don't agree, you let me know which are the ones that you disagree with. So I've gone with Quinton de Kock. You agree with Quinton de Kock?
I think Mohan Ali is
He's
also
there. He's there.
Acha, Mohan Ali is there.
Is Quinton de Kock, will you have Quinton de Kock in your team?
I would rather go with Manish Pandey.
Okay, why is that?
Because Manish Pandey, if you see his performance, you know, forget last season. Last season, nobody from SRH did well. But if you go beyond that, you know, Manish Pandey is one player, you know, who can play responsibly, who can play long innings, and you need someone who can play long innings. You know, like yesterday's match, you know, there was a batting collapse, and Manish Pandey is the perfect guy to stem the rot and take the team forward, and he can hit those big shots. And because Quinton de Kock's performance is not that great, so
Come on.
not that good, I think
Okay,
Manish Pandey.
if you want to go with me, you can go with Quinton de Kock
Nobody
or Manish
expects Manish Pandey
That's
to
right.
do well.
High risk, high returns.
Yeah, high
I
risk,
get
high
that.
returns, yeah.
High risk, high returns. Okay. Then we move on to Ruth Raj Gayakwar, and why not? Again, like I've said, Ruth Raj Gayakwar, the orange cap holder, you know, just has been so good in the IPL, has been good in the recent times as well. I would just have to go with him. I feel like, you know, this is going to be another IPL where he's going to score a lot of runs.
Ruth Raj Gayakwar definitely, and I would like to take more risk and make Ruth Raj Gayakwar the captain today.
Okay.
Yeah, because he is a proven performer in IPL 2021. And at one moment there were discussions when Dhoni quits, who are the likely captaincy options for Chennai Super Kings. And of course, Ravindra Jadeja is their most veteran player, but Dhoni himself mentioned that Ruth Raj Gayakwar is one player who he wants to groom. So I think Ruth Raj Gayakwar in the Fantasy 11 as captain.
Okay, Ruth Raj Gayakwar. Also, you should know this, that no other player has scored more runs against spin at a strike rate of 154 than Ruth Raj Gayakwar. Okay, then we'll move on. I've got a new captain of Chennai Super Kings, Ravi Jadeja, in my side. And I feel like Ravindra Jadeja, I also feel like in the teams that I like to choose, there are all-rounders, of course, because you know that you're going to get more points. But Ravindra Jadeja has just been in incredible form for the Indian team. And I feel like he's going to carry that form in here. I know that in the last game, he was struggling a bit with the bat, but did do well with the ball. So yes, Ravindra Jadeja.
I mean, be it high-risk 11 or a safe 11, you know, you just can't keep Ravindra Jadeja out. He's like three-dimensional player. He can give you 4 economical overs with his left arm spin. He can hit those big shots. He's a great fielder, so he's a clumpy package, and there's no way you can keep Ravindra Jadeja out. We can agree to that. Okay,
then I've gone in with Robin Uthappa. Would you agree with Robin Uthappa in your team?
Robin Uthappa is quite a high-risk player again.
But you have to go, if you were to go with one high-risk player, I would think Robin Uthappa would be it. Because Robin Uthappa, we've seen what he's done in 2021. We've seen the vintage Robin Uthappa in last year's IPL. He's talked about how he's finding himself, you know, in that kind of mindset where he can just go out and play his game freely, which is wonderful to watch. And we can see that in his cricket. He's just enjoying cricket at the moment. And I feel like he is going to be crucial, and he will be scoring runs.
If you want to take even higher risk, you can make Robin Uthappa your vice captain, you know, in place of Deepak Hooda.
Sure.
I mean, he has no pressure, you know. I'm sure, you know, he is a great cricketer, but he can play freely now. I'm sure he has no national team ambitions now. He has nothing to lose. He can go for his shots, and you know, you just need 2 to 3 great hits, you know, for making a good innings. So Robin Uthappa for vice captaincy.
Okay, Robin Uthappa for vice captaincy. I would still keep Deepak Hooda as my vice captain, but we'll see at the end of this match who will win more points. Okay, moving on then. Mohan Ali comes back into the side. He was out because of some visa issue. And when Mohan Ali is playing a game on that day, you better put him in your side, because you don't know. Mohan Ali will, if he's not doing something with the bat, he will do it with the ball. And on most days, he will do it with both bat and ball. And so that's why I feel like Mohan Ali has to be in the team.
Yeah, but my only point is, you know, you have Kunal Pandey also in Lucknow Super Giants. Though he's not in the same class, as spin all-rounder class as Moeen Ali.
Sure.
He did really well in the last match. He has already played one match. Moeen Ali did not play the first match, so I would rather keep Kunal Pandey in and keep Moeen Ali out in the Fantasy 11.
Okay. In IPL 2021, just telling you, he was in the Indian leg of the tournament with Moeen Ali. He scored 206 runs in 6 innings at a strike rate of 157. That's not all. He also picked up 5 wickets at the economy of 6.16. I'm not keeping him out when CSK are playing. Okay, then moving on to Ravi Bishnui. And I think Ravi Bishnui is just somebody, because I feel like Ravi Bishnui, of course, is important with the ball, but Ravi Bishnui is also a live wire in the field.
True.
And so I think that in that sense, I always expect him in Indian pitches for him to get few wickets in every match.
Yeah, I mean, he's an Indian spinner, though there are several other spinners, Mitchell Santner can be a high-risk option, but I think keeping Ravi Vishnu in the Fantasy 11 is quite a judicious choice, because he's Indian, he's definitely going to play today. You never know whether Mitchell Santner will play at all, so Ravi Vishnu in the 11, definitely.
Okay, then moving on to Dushmant Chameera, only because of the way he played in the last game, and I feel like he is going to be a handful in this IPL. He was the reason why the match that Lucknow played against Gujarat actually went down to the wire. Of course, it changed with KL Rahul's captaincy towards the 16th and the 17th over with Deepak Hooda and Ravi Bishnui bowling those 2 overs. But for Dushmant Chameera to take those early wickets in a low-scoring match, I think that changed things for them. So I think Dushmant Chameera is.
Do you have Avesh Khan in your 11?
No, I don't have.
So
Avesh Khan.
I'll rather go with Avesh Khan again, another Indian talent. Can get extract bounce from the wicket. Was the second highest wicket taker. Dushmant Chameera, of course, nothing taking away from him.
Yeah, I mean, it can just be a gut thing. It does not have to be logic at times.
But Avesh Khan, because he knows he's in the Indian team contention, he would be begging to do really well. So I would go with Avesh Khan in the 11 than Dushmant Chameera.
Okay, Avesh Khan for him. Then we'll move on to Dwayne Bravo. Dwayne Bravo is Dwayne Bravo.
Yeah.
He's like fine wine. He just gets better with age, just like MS Dhoni.
True.
So Dwayne Bravo will always make a difference in some way or the other. Even if he does not get anything with the bat, he'll end up taking wickets. So he's there in my side.
Dwayne Bravo, I also agree. Last match he was simply brilliant with his 3 wickets. He has loads of experience. He equaled Lasith Malinga as the top wicket taker in IPL. If he takes one more wicket today, he'll be the highest ever wicket taker in IPL.
Yeah.
And he's going to definitely play today. He can bat too, though he's in the 11 more as a bowler. He can bat too. So Dwayne Bravo definitely in the 11.
Okay, and my last one is Ayush Badoni.
Ayush Badoni, yeah.
Okay. So Ayush Badoni, I know a lot of people might just say, hey, he did it in the first match. How do you expect him to do well in this match? And also, at the position that he comes and plays, what if more often than not, you'll expect KL Rahul and Quinton de Kock to get going and maybe he won't be there. I mean, you know what? You don't go for some of the middle order batsmen because you always want to get all the top order. They're likely to get a chance to bat. But I still feel Ayush Badoni. I don't know. I feel he has the talent and I feel like I see that in him that he might have a good season this year.
Ayush Badoni is a definitely good option, but your 11 had Dushmant Chameera and 4 foreigners were complete. I would rather put, because I selected Avesh Khan over Dushmant Chameera, in place of Ayush Badoni, I would put Evan Lewis, a great attacking batter. He is a real performer in he was a real performer in CPL. The top 3 of LSG is so strong because of the presence of Evan Lewis. So in place of Ayush Badoni, Evan Lewis.
Okay, so there we have it. If we could just put the fantasy pick our 11 once again, and we can just take you through them. That's the team that we have, where we made KL Rahul the captain. There are some differences between Abhishek and me, but this is more or less what we've gone for. You guys can go for your own teams. But this is what I feel like is a safe team. Deepak Hooda, Quinton de Kock. I've gone in with Deepak Hooda as the vice captain. Ruth Raj Gayakwar is there. Ravindra, Jadeja, Uttapa, of course. Moeen Ali, of course. Then Ravi Bishnui, once again, these are all safe bets. I think like they're going to do well in this match. Then the Dushmanta Chamira, Dwayne Bravo and Ayush Badoni. The couple of differences is that he's gone in with Avesh Khan.
Yeah, Avesh Khan in place of Dushmanta Chamira. Robin Uthappa for vice captaincy. Avin Lewis for Ayush Badoni. So these are the 3-4 changes which I think would reap greater benefits.
Okay, so that's it on this show. Just before we go, the likely 11 for all of you, in case you're wondering who's it going to be, who'll be playing today. So let's start with Lucknow Super Giants. KL Rahul, the captain of Super Giants, Quinton de Kock, Evan Lewis, Manish Pandey, Deepak Hooda, Ayush Badoni, Kunal Pandey. There could be a change between Mohsin Khan with Andrew Tai coming in for him. There's Dushmanta Chamira, Ravi Bishnui and Avesh Khan. Let's also take a look at the playing 11 for Chennai Super Kings. Ruth Raj Gayakwar is there with Devon Conway opening the match for them. There'll be Robin Uttapa, Mohan Ali, Ambati Raidu, Ravindra Jadeja, the captain, MS Dhoni, Shivam Dubey, Dwayne Bravo, Adam Mill and Tushar Deshpande. So those are the two likely playing 11s for the two teams. It is Lucknow Super Giants versus the Chennai Super Kings. That is coming up tonight. Another action-packed thriller, hopefully. We'll come back at 6:30 for our UP Uttarakhand channel on News 9. So do join us then. वो हिंदी में होगा, तो हिंदी वाले जो हमारे दर्शक हैं वो प्लीज़ आ जाएं वहाँ पर. और इंग्लिश में at 7 o'clock again we'll be right here on our socials, Facebook as well as YouTube. Do comment, write in your suggestions, whatever else you want to tell us about what you think of the show, and we'll take those suggestions. For now, thank you so much for watching.